Self-doubt is something that affects all of us at some point in our lives, and I don't know that it's talked about enough. So we're going to talk about it today. Hey all, welcome to Rachel Alice Reads. Come, stay a while, let's chat. As you hopefully know by now, I am attempting to write a novel, a book of fiction. And I've been struggling a little bit with that lately. I've been struggling for motivation and I've been struggling to get my ass in the chair, and I'm going to have a bit of a chat about it today because I think I know why. And I think a lot of other people probably feel the same way and have a lot of the same struggles. Before we get into this chat though, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button so that you can help build this community so that we can have chats like this. And I mean, I'm kind of chatting to the camera right now, but after the video you can comment and we can talk and we can chat about it. Before I get into the specific writing side of it though, I'm going to do a little bit of general external self-reflection. I think it's actually true that as you get older you get to know yourself a little bit better, or maybe it's that you're actually willing to admit to yourself what you knew all along. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and of course it's easy to accept the strengths, but it's usually the weaknesses that are the things that hold us back. And my big weakness that is currently causing havoc is a major, and I do mean major, almost to the point of saying a crippling, fear of failure. It's an interesting one too because that's not normally how it comes out. Usually it's I'm too tired or I'm too busy. I avoid things, which can be very sneaky. It's a sneaky little one. It's sneaky to identify that as a fear of failure. When I really think about this, its essence is in everything that I haven't done. And it usually boils down to some form of, if I don't try, I can't fail. For me, this manifests in things like procrastination, avoidance of activities, and thoughts of not being good enough. And one of the most interesting ones for me is the thought that I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. Of course I could do that. I'm just choosing not to do that, but I could do that. I could do that is really dangerous for me because it's so safe. I can say I could do that until the cows come home because I really genuinely think I'm a reasonably intelligent and capable person, and I genuinely think that I could do a lot of things. I really could, but I don't. I don't because I could do that is a lot safer than I tried to do that and I wasn't any good at it, because historically to me that means failure, and I don't like to fail. I really like to be good at things. I like to be good at everything. When I fail at something, I really beat myself up more than anybody else ever could, and then I don't try again because I don't like that feeling. Of course this is stupid because trying something and failing still means that you're one step ahead of where you were before you tried. It means that you can apply things that you've learned when you try again. For writing, this basically boils down to you can't edit a blank page. Now I've had my novel idea for a while and I think it's pretty okay, but an idea is just an idea until you start writing it down. I've spent maybe the last 2 years outlining, and I'm the kind of person who likes to plan. I like to go into things knowing what I need to do, knowing how long it's going to take me, knowing the variables that are going to come up, because having a really thorough set out plan lessens the fear of failure. How could you possibly fail if you know exactly what you need to do? Now, all of that means that I am definitely not a pantser, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm allowed to be a plotter, and that's a good thing to recognize in oneself. Pantsing would actually just be terrifying to me. My God, the plot holes. At least with a good outline, you can go into it knowing the rules you need to follow. Maybe there are rules to magic. You've gotten to know your characters. You know what world you're working in, since I'm writing a fantasy novel, of course. And I'm pretty good with where my outline is. I think I've got a pretty solid story and I've got some really good characters. There's still some more work that could be done on it, but therein lies the problem. There is always more I could do on an outline. Always more. You can always look at a character and think that you don't know them well enough, and then you have to go and expand on their character profile. You could always decide that, oh, I need this little shipping town over there, but I don't know anything about it. Let's go and create a map and create a government for it, and on it goes. But there has to be a point where I actually start writing my book. I am not a writer if I do not write. But if I just plan and if I outline, then I can't be a crappy writer. If I do more outlining and more planning, when I eventually do get to writing, I'm going to be really good at it. When I get there, when I'm ready. Which I know is complete and utter crap. My first draft is not going to be good. Even a lot of the best writers in the world say that their first drafts are terrible, and I have no idea why in my head I think by outlining and planning for years and years and years and years, it's going to make me any different. I have not been doing this since I was a child. I am totally new to this, yet I have some weird expectation that when I eventually get to writing, because I've planned so thoroughly, I'm going to be really good. But I'm never going to feel ready. And I can't edit a blank page. So I've got October to finish up this constructive procrastination, as I like to call it, because I'm doing NaNoWriMo in November and there is no place for this sort of stuff in NaNoWriMo. You just have to do the damn thing. Unfortunately, there is no magic potion that makes any of this any easier. The thoughts and struggles aren't just going to go away. The only real way of turning I could do this into I am doing this or I've done this is to just do it anyway. With me and my fear of failure, I kind of only see one path for this, and that's to change the game. Change the line from trying and not being great at it is failing to not trying is failing. Because in the end, isn't that true? Isn't doing nothing far, far worse than having a go and maybe not being so great at it? Because at least that way you've learned something. So if you're in the same boat and the fear of failure is getting in the way, just remember that you can't edit a blank page, and saying, I could do that, and then not doing it is actually far, far worse than giving it a go and not being perfect. Screw you, fear of failure! Screw you! I really hope this video was interesting to you, and I would love to hear from you. If you are in the same boat, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to have a chat. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out so that we can have more of these chats. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and reviewing on Goodreads. But for now, screw you, fear, and don't forget to laugh at yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye!